Hey guys, Rachel Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there today. Today, we have my favorite way to play Raid Shadow Legends with a lot of control champions. We're talking about controllers in today's video. The champions you use to, well, stop the enemy team from doing what they normally want to do. Way back in the days of Magic the Gathering, I used to be a good old control player, and I still love drafting multiple control options inside my live arena teams. So Houston Lindsay says, Ash, I think you should do a top 10 controllers video. I'm gonna do you one better. We're gonna do the top 15 controllers in Raid Shadow Legends, kicking it off with a tie, the only tie of the video, at number 15. Oh, quick side note, guys, I'm not gonna do Mythicals. Hopefully you're okay with that.
Have I hurt you? Don't be silly.
If I did do Mythicals, Star Sage Galathyr would be number 1 on the list.
Acting! Brilliant! Thank you! Thank you!
Given that he has buff removal, block active skills, 3-turn cooldown, and a 3-turn stun with a decreased resistance as well on the same, form of his kit, right? Just bonkers. There's a lot of good controllers who are mythical. I'm looking, by the way, the best of the best are champions that do multiple things. AoE stunners are awesome. I love me some Gottfried Brassclad with an AoE stun. I love me some Ragash with the AoE stun, right, on the A2. But you need more than just a stun to make this list because, well, honestly, the competition is pretty fierce here, right? So, okay, at number 15 is our only tie of the video. And it's actually going to be 2 champions that were, at least at one point, free for everybody in the game. Alice. Now, Alice gets a super bad rap because she was free, similar to almost every free champion. People hate on Alice, but I actually still like Alice. She's a lockout it's a 2-turn lockout, right? 2 turns, it's not a full lockout, not a 3-turn like Yumeko or full like Warlord, but you also have turn meter reduction on this move, and then you have the really cool passive that resets the cooldown of one of these champion skills if she kills an enemy. So if she kills somebody with the A2, not only do you get the turn meter reduction and the cooldown reduction, but you can come right back in and use it again, right? So I actually think that Alice is an underrated control champion because I think she was once free.
I mean, it's so rude. I can't believe it. It's so goddamn rude.
Really cool design, too, on that champion, if I do say so myself. I thought about including Loki as another freebie, by the way, and he's really close there, but to me, he's maybe missing 1 or 2 elements. A very cool champion, very underrated, one of my faves, but he's missing a little bit more to fully be an all-out control champion on today's list. But Yakarl's actually tied at number 15. Yakarl has, or had, a couple significant buffs over the years. He used to be meh, and he's a farmable champion in the clan shop. You can farm his fragments. I recommend most players do. This Glaciate is great. It's a 75% freeze, which is meh, 75%. The cool thing is 100% of the targets has more than 75% turn meter, which is usually the case in the arena on a go first team. Moreover, the debuff can't be resisted against targets with 75% or more turn meter. Very solid there. But it doesn't just end there. He has all kind of freeze synergy on his passive. He has freeze on his A1, and he has freeze also on his A2. But in addition to all of that, he's also stealing 100% of the target's turn meter when on his A2, excuse me. So he's stealing all their turn meter as well. Not just a reduction, but a full-out steal. So stealing turn meter, freeze on every frickin' move, the unresistible element of it, yeah, I feel like he belongs on the list. Coming in at number 14 on the list is actually going to be an epic. There are a couple epics on the list today.
Why are we here?
And it's going to be Umbreal Enchantress, right? Now listen, like I just said, you need more than just a 1-turn stun to make the list. But Umbreal, even though there's Angar out there with a 2-turn potential to have a 2-turn provoke, or a Molly Tankard with a potential to have a 2-turn provoke, there's still only one champion that has a true AoE 2-turn provoke out there, and it's Umbreal Enchantress. She's a more niche champion, but block buffs isn't necessarily like a quintessential control ability, but she also is preventing them to get buffs with a 3-turn on a 3-turn duration as well on her A2. So I love Umbreal Enchantress's kit, and again, she's the only true 2-turn guaranteed provoke champion, and she's void. Don't have to worry about weak affinity matchups. So I felt like this list was just not complete without an Umbreal Enchantress. She comes in at number 14. So next up is Karen the Harvester, who's kind of a new-ish legendary champion. I have him and I love this dude. He's fast and he's tanky. He's a lizardman, magic affinity. He has accuracy in all battles. I want to start with his A3. Attack all enemies, place a sleep on them for 1 turn. Will ignore block debuffs, grants an extra turn. Now, sleep isn't the most powerful debuff out there, obviously, but there's a lot more to this guy's sleep than there are most champions. First of all, I love the ignore block debuffs. We see that on Nell. We see that on Yenseska Grail Braid. Bearer, rather. We see that in Genro the Stork. We're seeing that on more and more champions, the ability to ignore block debuffs, which is kind of weird, right? Anyway, extra turn after that. With his extra turn, you can go into his A2, Threshmaster. You attack one enemy, put their skills on cooldown, all of them. 100% chance of decreasing the turn meter of all enemies under sleep by 15%, which we just placed on them, hopefully with the A3. And then we have a 100% chance of decreasing turn meters enemies without sleep by 30%. But what really puts them over the top is the passive. We keep going here. I want to direct your attention to the second paragraph here. First paragraph, we kind of mitigate the value of turn meter improvement on the enemy team. But the second part, whenever a sleep debuff is removed or expires on a target, instantly activates the A2. So now when the sleep runs off, boom, we hit them and their skills go on cooldown, and we continue to reduce turn meter on the rest of the team. We have decreased speed on his A1 with some steel too. Man, a lot going on here. Let's keep the sleep vibe going right now and go with Prince Kaimar at number 12 on our list. Again, sleep is not my favorite move in the game, certainly far from it, but he has the remove all buffs followed by the sleep on the 3-turn cooldown with the Abyssal Gaze. Moreover, he does have that juicy speed in arena battles by 30%. Listen, Kaimar isn't the Kaimar that he used to be in the arena, meaning he used to be a top meta option. You'd go in there, you'd open up, remove their buffs, put them all to sleep. One by one, you'd pop them off, you'd seal of magic, reset everything, turn meter boost your team, and do it all over again. Not as strong, but still very viable with the buff removal and the CC on the same ability. You're going to notice that as we get higher on the list, that buff removal followed by the CC on the same ability or with an extra turn is really, that's the gold standard that we're looking for in Control. All right, number 11 on the list is going to be a very hard to get champion. She was kind of one of those one-time deals, and it's Archer Queen. I said that having an AoE stun in this case isn't enough to make the list, even though it's a great ability on 3-turn cooldown, has conditional decreased speed if it's a boss, yada, yada, yada. But our Nuragante Archer, or Archer Queen, she has the AoE stun, and she has the AoE provoke. 2-turn provoke against bosses, right? Against bosses. Having the AoE 3-turn provoke and the AoE 3-turn stun, that definitely puts her in a league with like Mythicals, like Hive Lord League, right? And arguably even better. So she's really one of the best Control champions out there, especially against like wave content, areas like that. All right, number 10 on the list, gonna go be an oldie here, but certainly a goodie. It's Tormund the Cold. If you can't beat a go first Arbiter team, where you know they're not gonna be all stone skinned out, or even if you do know, I mean, he's a tanky fella, he can live a little while, but if you're going against turn meter boosters and buffers, look no further than Tormund the Cold. Not only does he have that nasty freeze on his passive, he has freeze on his A1 as well. He also has the come back to life ability and the AoE provoke on his A3. So he's provoking, he's freezing with his passive all over the place, doesn't even need to do anything, and he's freezing with the A1 as well. We're going to go right back to an epic here at number 9 on the list. To the Demon Spawn, I'm not going to have a Control video without having the old school queen of Control in Allure. Listen, I think Allure, she's different than a lot of these champions that we talked about, but I think she still absolutely belongs on the list. She has a Psychic Whip. It's on her A1 ability, her basic ability, so there's no cooldown, obviously. 3 times, decrease target's turn meter by 25% on each critical hit. That's super freaking strong. Maybe a relentless set, take an extra turn. I mean, you're getting guaranteed full turn meter depletion. You're already getting very, very close to it. Just need to build it with 100% crit rate. Don't even need to worry about the rest of her kit. It's just a Psychic Whip is probably the best turn meter control in the game, and it's on her A1 ability, of course. Very good. Number 8 on the list. This was an interesting one. Should I include him or should I not include him? But I'm going to include him, and it's actually Chalco the Blind.
Okay, actually, I wish it was me.
He's such an interesting champion. He's removing buffs, or decreasing the duration of enemy buffs, I should say, which is nice, on his A3. He's bringing his own increased accuracy, which is also nice. And this ability is nasty. If it was a mythical list, I'd include Carnage for the same reason, because there's only a few champions in the game that have block passive skills. And having it block passive skills with a decreased defense with the debuff spread is really insanely good. But what makes him even cooler is you can't CC Chalco the Blind, right? He's immune to all CC, debuffs except for Sheep. Whenever an enemy attempts to place a debuff on them, it instantly activates the A2. Thus, more block passive skills, more decreased defense, and more debuff spreads. Block passive skills has never been stronger in a game where every champion's big highlight nowadays is how broken their passives are, right? So he can negate like 75% of the champions in the meta, if not more. I didn't initially have him on the list, but I should probably also give a massive shout out to Ramanu, who also has an AoE block active skills or block passive if they had it. He can also remove buffs before attacking. So yeah, I mean, arguably Ramanu could even be considered better because he's removing buffs before he's setting the table, blocking their active or their passive skills. So certainly a tie here at number 8. Number 7 on our list is gonna be, it's your girl, it's my girl, it's Yumeko. Yumeko's so cool because she's very versatile, right? Obviously, Dance of Time. We're decreasing the cooldown of ally skills by 3 turns, and we're increasing the cooldown of enemy skills by 3 turns as well. You can build her in high resist. You can use her as a reset against a Warlord or somebody on the other team, right? You could also obviously get the double value of this ability in the Dance of Time. We know her from the broken, disgusting Trunda teams of age past and still around in Hydra. But also there's more to her kit than just that, right? We have Turn Meter Steel on her A1, which is handy. But we're not done yet. On her A2, she has this awesome Hex synergy ability, right? Where if she's attacking, or if an enemy under Hex tries to place a debuff on her, right? I mean, if she's under Perfect Veil, she's going to be immune to it anyway. But later on in the battle, she has a chance, 55% chance, actually a 75% chance when booked, of transferring the D-back back to a random enemy under Hex, placed by this champion with her A2 with the same move, right? That's really freaking strong. You know, good control there. The deflection kind of built into her kit. The cooldowns of the enemy team by 3 turns. Yeah, Yumeko's still top notch. Coming in at number 6 on the list is actually going to be none other than, we mentioned her earlier, Lady Noel. Lady Noel is so unique because she's the only true reviver on this list, excuse me. She's got the speed in arena battles, which is very nice. She got decreased the speed of enemies under freeze by 10%. When a sheep debuff expires on an ally, fills their turn meter by 50%. Those are all really nice to have. And then she has the revive, the AoE revive, 50% HP, 50% turn meter on a freaking 3-turn cooldown when booked. That is insanely good, but we're not done yet. It also has a 100% chance of placing a freeze on all enemies. We'll place that freeze, by the way, even if nobody's dead, so you can use it as an active 3-turn freeze. If Sir Nick's on the same time, it can't be resisted or blocked, even by block debuffs. Oh man, that's nasty. She can also cure sheep as well with her A2 ability. Brings an increased speed for everybody on the same move. Man, she's really freaking good. She is really, really good. She has decreased turn meter with some freeze conditionality on her A1. Getting this much, she's like, what a cool champion. What a cool fusion, man. We need another fusion that good as Lady Noel in the game. All right, we're into the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. Brace yourself. And by the way, I'll just say, I have a nagging feeling that I'm forgetting somebody. I checked every faction like 3 times in preparation for today's video. But you let me know if I'm missing somebody super obvious. We have Warlord at number 5. Warlord is Void Affinity, but he's got the full cooldown. Not only does he have the full skill cooldown, but he also has a 60% chance to fully deplete each target's turn meter. Now, skill cooldowns are great, but they're not as powerful as they used to be in the game because of mythical champions. Because if you skill cooldown a mythical champion, they can just change forms. So, in a lot of ways, having mythicals in the game, we have like 24 of them right now at the time of this recording. Having mythicals in the game now, it actually gave a little bit more value to stuns and block active skills and freezes, but enemy cooldowns or skill cooldowns are still incredibly powerful. When you have that and the chance of a full turn meter depletion on one skill, on a 4-turn cooldown, not a 5 like Dance of Time, it's deadly. It's deadly. So yeah, Warlord still has it. The only thing against Warlord is his base speed. It's a little slow compared to some other control champions out there at 100. He's still very, very good. He has a chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target on this A1 and a great support ability on his protection of gods on his A2. All right, number 4 on the list. This guy used to be one of the worst, and now he's, well, a few spots down from first, and it's Gurgo the Augur. Gurgo, what a rework they did on Gurgo the Augur. He has speed in arena battles at 30%, great speed aura, obviously. You touch this dude, you're liable to be frozen off his passive Frost Embrace, but what a great rework. He's removing all buffs, placing a freeze on all enemies, and then getting the extra turn. We talked about this earlier in the video. What is the best way to control? It's removing buffs and then CCing them, right? We have a chance of removing Stone Skin and so on and so forth. Again, from a Void Affinity champion, not to worry about affinities here because you're going to be going back in and then you're going to be placing an extra hit because they're going to be under that freeze placed by him with a decreased defense. He can delete a team all in 1 or 2 turns with his extra turn if you include it. Very good now. Gurgo the Augur. All right, top 3. Number 3 on the list is going to be Odin Feyfather. Odin. I mean, Odin is just like Gurgo, but it's all in one ability. He doesn't need 2 abilities. He just needs 1. We're removing all buffs from all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown. We're placing a decreased defense. And we're placing a stun. So bye-bye buffs, hello decreased defense, and hello to losing your turn with the stun. Again, Void Affinity champion. You can also kill somebody with an enemy max HP. You have speed in arena battles from Void Affinity champions by 40%, and you have the revive and the block damage. The buffs spread, the revive on the A3. The buffs spread with the block damage every freaking 9 turns, which goes by way faster than one might think before you play against Odin or have Odin. Man, it's a simple kit. Well, it's not that simple, but the control element of it is fairly simple. But boy, it is freaking strong. Number 2. This was actually, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little close, but I still feel pretty confident here. Number 2 is Fabian. Lord Entertainer Fabian. What was this, the 7th anniversary champion fusion? Man, Fabian. He gets more and more annoying every day. He gets more annoying every day because I'm just going against him more and more and more. 109, he's fast. He's got speed in all battles on the aura. Can use him anywhere. But this ability, Spectral Flourish, we're decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 3 turns, and then their cooldowns by 3 turns. Stand aside, Yumeko. Lord Fabian has entered the arena, right?
Leave me alone.
Grants the extra turn if there are no buffs on the enemies after the attack. I mean, with the extra turn in addition to that. But it's not just that has him at number 2 overall. He's also placing a Petrification, which removes buffs and prevents buffs, but can be cleansed. Activates this skill whenever an enemy under a fear or true fear successfully uses a skill. He's going in and petrifying, removing buffs, wasting their turn. Ghosts with the most. This is so annoying to go against. Whenever an enemy's revived, places a true fear on that enemy for 2 turns, removes any CC debuffs from this champion at the start of his turn, and then he's got more true fear on his A1. I mean, this is insane. Did I even mention the part that he has a True Fear on all enemies on his A2 as well? Not just a Petrification? So True Fears are falling off all over the place. This dude's so strong that you can just go through a battle feeling like you never get a turn going against Lord Entertainer Fabian. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that nuts? Man, he would be number one if there wasn't a fella called Arman the Magnificent who predated him by exactly 365 days. Arman's, he was the 6th anniversary or whatever the heck, fusion. And Arman's, in my mind, is still number one. He's got the aura for arena battles. He's got the stun. But stealing all turn meter, not depleting, but stealing all turn meter with the stun, all on a 3-turn cooldown, basically bringing it down to a 2-turn cooldown, allowing him to go in there in sheep that can't be blocked, by the way. Then 100% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies. We're filling this champion's turn meter by 5% for each buff removed on a 3-turn cooldown. And then there's so much more. Even that, whenever a sheep debuff is removed from an enemy, increase the cooldown of a random active skill of that enemy to its max. Fill the champion's turn meter some more for each turn added to the cooldown. On his A1, he's got a 50% chance when booked of increasing the cooldown of a random active skill by 2 turns. More turn meter fill. You forget sometimes about all the turn meter fill, in addition to just the steal that he brings to the table as well. Yeah, it's okay. Fabian's maybe kind of close, but Arman's still the king of control in Raid Shadow Legends. Even if I had Mythicals ranked, Arman still might be number 1 or number 2 behind Starsage. I have to think about that, but you guys can let me know. Who did I snub? And who do you disagree with on the list? Who's too high? Who's too low? Let me know in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.